Housing is a basic need, but Tasmanians from many different backgrounds are struggling to get a roof over their heads. Tonight we take a look at the state's unprecedented rise in real estate.
Sold.
It's crazy how many people are looking at the one property.
Getting people from interstate who want to purchase in Hobart.
We are marketing to buyers in the $1,850,000 price range.
We had about 150 groups through the property over the last 4 weeks. Come auction day, we had about 6 different bidders.
Sold.
To break down the issue, let's bring in our reporter Fiona Blackwood. Fiona, you've been talking to Tasmanians at the front line of an escalating crisis. What's changing?
Well, Guy, essentially, affordability is getting even worse. We're seeing big rises in property prices. That's leaving would-be homeowners stranded in a tightening rental market, making the competition for leases even stronger. And we're seeing people who you'd typically describe as comfortable financially who are also struggling to secure a home. Let's meet some of them now.
I underestimated how tough it was going to be.
Missy Harwood grew up in Tasmania thinking home ownership was an attainable dream. Now she's losing faith. The 30-year-old mum of 2 works part-time and her husband works long hours as a subcontractor, earning more than $100,000 a year.
Charlotte, you just coming with Mummy?
The couple had saved a deposit, but with rising property prices, it wasn't enough to secure a loan. Now they're paying $920 a fortnight in rent, and they fear they've missed the boat.
I think for mine and my husband's mental health, the most, it's concerning when you work hard and you want a home, and it's just not really possible. Sorry. It's disappointing.
A shortage of properties for sale and unprecedented demand has seen house prices surge. Over the past 5 years, median house values in Hobart have increased 70% to around $750,000. Burnie is up 60% to around $370,000. And in Launceston, there's been about an 80% increase to approximately $550,000. It's a potential windfall for around 70% of Tasmanians who own their own home, but not for those who don't.
That has a negative consequence for those that are trying to get into the market, buy their first property, buy a home.
In Tasmania's north, the suburb of Mowbray was once an affordable neighbourhood. The median price of a home here has gone up nearly 40% in a year to around $350,000.
That may seem affordable for the mainland, but if you think of the average income here of around $50,000 to $60,000 a year, people wouldn't be able to afford a mortgage.
Renting for many is no longer a cost-effective alternative. Based on income, Hobart is the least affordable capital city in Australia, where the average household is spending more than 30% of its income on rent. Burnie and Launceston are not far behind.
There's not much stock available either. Some of the stock has been put on short-term accommodation.
Liam Kenner's rental is being converted into visitor accommodation. He's moved house 3 times in 5 years due to rising rent prices.
It's definitely my key priority. At least over these 5 years, this has been the biggest just general pain point in my life. It's caused me the most frustration.
The 23-year-old feels the housing market is geared too heavily towards returns for investors.
Housing is a right. We all need housing. No one should have to go about.
But many are. There are around 4,300 families in Tasmania waiting for social housing like this. The Tasmanian government plans to build and acquire 10,000 more affordable homes over the next decade. But there could be a sticking point.
We've sort of depleted our land supplies as an organisation, which means that the next time that we're going out to build, we'll be looking to buy land, and at this stage it's at a premium.
It has community organisations looking to inner city spaces like this private development, where a maximum number of units is built on a small plot of land.
So it makes it easier for people to be able to access employment and education opportunities when they're living in a site like this.
Missy Harwood believes helping working families achieve home ownership would free up more private rentals and perhaps bring downward pressure on prices. She says governments need to talk to the banking sector about using rental history as proof of being able to service a loan.
The fact that they're not doing that, I think, is extremely backwards.
And Fiona Blackwood's still here with us. Fiona, we heard at the end there the concept of using rental history to back up loan applications. How would that work?
Well, Guy, advocates say that people wanting to apply for a loan could use this as proof of being able to service a loan rather than needing a large deposit.
And what's been the reaction to that idea?
Well, banks say they already take into account expenses like rent when it comes to approving loans, but that a deposit is important for providing equity and reducing the size of the loan. Those behind the idea, though, say using rental history would have flow-on benefits.
For a start, you'd free up rental properties. If people are moving into home ownership, they're moving out of overpriced rentals. That forces rental prices down. It puts more houses back into the market.
In a tight housing market, many people are looking at ways of trying to make renting and buying a home more attainable.